Hey, what is up guys? Epic Pokemon TCG here, and we are finally back with another deck profile, and you guys can expect a lot more of these to come this week, and maybe even going into next week, just depending on how the schedule works out. But in this video, guys, we're going to be taking a look at Darkrai Giratina, and as always, guys, the list will be down in the description below. And so, go ahead and get into this starting list here, guys. So this is a list that you can tweak and work on just to make it work a little better for you. But to start off, guys, we of course have Giratina EX. I'm going to cover this card first because I feel like with Megas becoming a lot more relevant in the TCG, this is going to be a card that you're going to be using quite a bit. Now, Giratina, of course, has the Renegade Pulse ability, which is very, very strong. Prevent all effects of attacks, including damage done to this Pokemon by your opponent's Mega Evolution Pokemon. So that means the big trio that's going in the next format, Mega Mewtwo, Mega Sceptile, and Mega Rayquaza, cannot attack Giratina EX, which is very good, but also it has a very strong attack in Chaos Wheel. Your opponent can't play any Pokemon Tool, Special Energy, or Stadium cards, so pretty much they can't play their Spirit Links. Mega Ray and Mewtwo can't play their DCEs down, so they can't even attack you there. And, Rayquaza can't play down the Skyfield Stadium or like Shrine of Memories, Forest of Giant Plants. All that gets taken out by Giratina's attack. So Giratina is just very strong against Mega Evolution Pokemon, and it has been since its release. And just with the pairing of Darkrai, just having a secondary attacker that can hit for a ton of damage without, very many energy, it's really good. Of course, you do need a lot of energy on the field to attack, for it to like rack up damage, but you guys get what I mean. So, play 2 of those there. Now, the next card, you can play 3, but I went for a different route. 2 Darkrai EX. Now, you can use Dark Head if you need like exactly 80 damage, or like some weird situation comes up where you don't have enough energy, or just one of those situations. But for the most part, you're going to be using the Dark Pulse attack. One of the benefits with Giratina is that the Double Dragon Energy provides you 2 Dark Energy, which is really cool. So it allows you to add up some extra damage whenever you're using Dark Pulse. But 20 and then 20 more for each Dark Energy attached to all of your Pokemon. So pretty much if you're hitting Max Elixirs and you have Double Dragon Energies and you're just going off, you can start doing a lot of damage, and it's just great. Having this powerhouse behind a Pokemon that can cause a lot of damage and disrupt your opponent like crazy is just really good. And I actually decided to pair it up with 1 Yveltal EX just to have that Pokemon out that can, rack up a lot of damage if your opponent has like some energy stuff. That was just my route. I decided to bump it down to 2 and run the Yveltal because I feel like having just a really, really strong powerhouse attacker alongside Darkrai that you didn't necessarily need to rely on having a bunch of dark energy on the field. I just thought that was a cool way to go. And so 2 Darkrai, 2 Giratina, 1 Yveltal EX. That's going to be your attackers of the deck, but we don't stop there with the Pokemon you're going to be using in some matchups. Now, you're not going to be using Garbodor in every single matchup, but you can use it in different scenarios, and it'll help you out a lot. With its upcoming format, as of right now, as I'm recording this video, guys, Steam Siege is the the latest set. So I don't know if you're watching this down the road and they did release something that discards tools. Forget what I'm about to say. But as of right now, there's no consistent way to discard tools. Xerosic and Megaphone are gone, and they're all in expanded land now, so those are gone. So basically the only way to get past Garbodor is with Lysander or something like that. And my broken ankle just popped and it hurt. Okay, so basically Garbotoxin removes all abilities. Now obviously if you're going against a deck that you absolutely need Renegade Pulse to even fight back, you don't want to have Garbodor out. But still, Garbodor is just a very strong card because it shuts down a lot of decks. And even in the Mega Ray matchup, having Garbodor out makes them unable to, start chaining Hoopas and start chaining Shaymins or something like that. And if you're able to pull off a Chaos Will attack, then you're shutting down the fact that they're able to play Stadiums and Special Energy. So it really works out to your benefits there. Just having these 2 pair up together, against some decks is just really... sometimes they get really overwhelmed, especially if you get a good consistent start and you get them all out and you start going very early. Also, even with the pairing of just Darkrai and Garbodor, them not being able to use their abilities alongside with you hitting for a ton of damage is just... some decks just can't keep up with it, It's just one of those things. But to round out the Pokemon, guys, we have 2 Shaymin in here for the setup ability. Really self-explanatory there. And Hoopa is going to be in here for the Scoundrel Ring ability, allowing you to grab your Darkrai, your Yveltal, your Giratina, and your Shaymins, pretty much. Just a searching card, pretty much. So that is going to do it for the Pokemon. We're going to move it into the supporter line of this now. So for supporters, I went pretty generic, nothing too crazy. I went for the 4 Sycamore, 2 N, 2 Lysander, 1 Giovanni, and 1 Pokemon Ranger. Now, Giovanni and Pokemon Ranger are the two I really think I need to explain. Really with Lysander, I see some lists playing 1, but for some reason I just feel comfortable with 2. You can, tweak it and run it however you would like. But for these two, sometimes you run a little short with your damage depending on, like what you're attacking. So I figured just having Giovanni in there to add some extra damage, maybe you're able to one-shot something, or maybe the numbers might get weird. Also with Giratina, it hits for 100, and some Megas actually have 220, and so, you kind of run into that weird situation where you might be 20 short, and you can play the Giovanni and just go ahead and get the KO. So that's why, also plus with the 5 extra cards, you never know when that might come into handy. But Pokemon Ranger, basically Jolteon is a thing, and you don't want to automatically lose to Jolteon, or maybe there's like an annoying effect that's out on the field or something like that. Really, Pokemon Ranger is a very strong card. It's very situational, but still at the same time, it is a very strong card, and definitely something you wanted to add in here. But that is going to do it for the supporters. To kind of continue with the consistent engine, like the supporters and stuff, we of course run the 4 VS Seeker. Oh, what am I doing? You are the leader of this one. There we go. So we got the 4 VS Seeker here, and 4 Trainer's Mail. Trainer Mail, fantastic card, one of my favorite trainers in all of Pokemon history, just because it allows you to get that potential to hit some cards you might need. To move on here with kind of the, like, how to get this deck going. So, pretty much these two right here, actually even I can pull you out too. Max Elixir, look at the top 6 cards of your deck. Choose 1 basic energy you find there and attach it to one of your bench Pokemon. Very, very strong card. Because you have the potential, of course, to have an Evil Ball turn 1. You can actually, if you get lucky and you get like the right draws, you can get a turn 1 Chaos Will. Also, it allows you to get a turn 1 Dark Pulse. Also, just allowing you to get some extra energy so that way Dark Pulse can do damage faster. And just, oh, come on. Really? What are you guys doing? Sorry, I'm watching football. Anyway, get back into the video, Dylan. Pretty much this just allows you to get some extra energy on the field faster and allows you to help your setup. So, 4 Max Elixir, very strong. I'm very comfortable with 4, mostly because like I do run a semi-high amount of basic energy. Alright, so 4 Ultra Ball, this is going to be the way that you can search out Hoopa, Garbodor, Trubbish, and such. So 4 Ultra Ball, pretty self-explanatory there, don't really need to go over it too much. 3 Fighting Fury Belt. Fighting Fury Belt is a amazing card, pretty much going back to the Garbodor explanation. There's nothing really to stop tools. Yes, there is Fright Knight, Yveltal, that is definitely an option. But for the most part, that's not going to be splashed into every single deck that you go up against unless things just get really weird for some reason and that becomes a huge card. But basically, Fighting Fury Belt is going to allow your Pokemon to get some extra HP. So Darkrai would bump up to 220 HP, Giratina would bump up to 210 HP, and the same would be for Yveltal EX, 210 HP. And also, it allows you to hit for a little more damage and just kind of strengthen your Pokemon, but for the most part, pretty much the idea of this deck, have those Fighting Fury Belts on your Pokemon and making them have to deal with Pokemon that disrupt, hit for a lot of damage, and have the HP of Megas pretty much. So, 3 Fighting Fury Belt, very, very good. Alright, 2 Floatstone, of course, this is obviously for Garbodor, but, with these Pokemon having, like, high HPs and stuff, too, just having a free Retreater to move about and do what you need to will also help with Max Elixir, and just, Floatstone's a good card. Going with the switching card, we have 1 Escape Rope. Escape Rope's just a card that I really like to have in every deck. Just something to fall back on. Super Rod, you never know when you might hit that Brutal Sycamore, or you might need to shuffle back in Dark Energy, or like keep an attacker, like maybe you need to try to set up another Giratina, or just something like that, bump the table. Super Rod just can come into those handy situations and just bail you out of some issues. I pretty much put this in everything, almost. Pretty much like Super Rod is one of the, like it's not the first card, but it's one of the first cards that I usually pull out to put in decks because it makes me feel more comfortable throughout matchups knowing, okay, I'm fine. I have Super Rod in my deck. I can get back into this game somehow. Or crap, they knocked out my attacker. Just one of those situations. You're just like, all right, I got Super Rod. I'm fine. 2 Parallel City. This is also going to be helping out against the Mega Ray matchup. And on top of that too, one of the cool things you can do with this card is you can discard these two. These can become liabilities in matchups. Just because of the fact that like Shaman is an easy Lysander bait for 2 prizes, and on top of that they can also bring up Hoopa 2 retreat costs and just kind of sit there for a couple turns while you're trying to retreat it. And with how heavy Pokemon can hit these days, sometimes it'll get knocked out before you can even retreat it, and so you'll be down 2 prizes. Also, you can kind of mess up with your opponent. You don't have to necessarily go against Mega Rayquaza to make their bench limited. Sometimes you can do that to them just early on and kind of screw them up a little bit. Because I have seen turns where they're like Shaman, like my 2/2 Pokemon, blah 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 blah, and it comes back to you and they have like a bench of 5 with Parallel City facing them like this. That's going to kind of limit their options and make them have to do some different plays. But still, Parallel City, I think this is probably right now just, I think this is the best stadium that you can kind of throw into anything like that. It's not like a themed deck, just because I keep hitting the table. What am I doing? Anyway, I think it's just one of the best stadiums that you can put into a deck right now, just because of the uses and the benefits you're going to be getting from it. But to round out the deck with the energy, guys, of course, we have the 4 Double Dragon Energy. This is just going to be for Giratina to help you out with the Chaos Will, and also allowing Darkrai to hit for some extra damage. And to finalize it, guys, we're going to have 9 Dark Energy. I love my Umbreon Energy. Anytime I get to show them off, I do it because these are just beautiful to me. But the reason I went with 9 is just because you have the higher chance of hitting Max Elixir. And, if you played something like 6, you wouldn't. You kind of would 6. Dylan 6. There we go. It would kind of lower the chances of you actually hitting it. I feel like if you have 9, you have a pretty solid chance of hitting it. And just on top of that too, Dark Pulse requires there to be a lot of energy out on the field, so you want to keep being able to constantly attach every single turn. And Giratina taking 4 energy. There's just a lot of really big things that go through in a matchup. So I figured 9 would be a comfortable number. But if you enjoyed the video, guys, make sure to like it and subscribe for some more content. And I will try my best to have some more deck profiles. I actually got some cards to work with for this week, so you're going to be seeing a lot more videos from me deck profile-wise. And if I can start consistently keeping that up, that would be fantastic. But you guys are awesome. Thank you so much again for watching. And I hope you all have a fantastic day, a fantastic week. Stay safe. I love you. And this is Epic Pokemon TCG, signing out. Take care, guys.